The Philippines, now one of the best performing economies in Asia. Defying global headwinds and the challenges of the pandemic, GDP growth hit 7.6% in 2022 and is expected to continue to be the highest in Southeast Asia in 2023. We are on track with our Agenda for Prosperity, our roadmap for economic transformation based on our medium-term fiscal framework and 8-point socioeconomic agenda. This is also aligned with the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028. For fiscal year 2024, the proposed national budget is 5.768 trillion pesos, equivalent to 21.7% of GDP, 9.5% higher than the previous year's budget of 5.268 trillion pesos. This budget was carefully considered to strengthen the purchasing power of Filipinos, reduce vulnerability and mitigate scarring from the COVID-19 pandemic, and ensure sound macroeconomic fundamentals in the near term. Continuity of investments, implementation readiness of programs and projects, agency absorptive capacity, and alignment with expenditure directions were also taken into account. Bearing in mind inclusivity, the social services sector will receive the largest allocation of 37.9% or 2.2 trillion pesos. Towards sustainability, the economic services sector will receive 1.7 trillion pesos or 29.6% of the budget. The proposed national budget has been designed to achieve the near-term objectives identified in the 8-point socioeconomic agenda. To ensure food security, we will strengthen our agriculture sector. We are boosting rice production with 30.9 billion pesos for the National Rice Program. We will assist local rice producers through the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund. Agricultural products such as corn and high-value crops will receive increased funding, and we will improve agro-fisheries through the National Fisheries Program. To reinforce agricultural productivity, the National Irrigation Administration will receive 31.2 billion pesos to generate an additional 31,548 hectares of irrigated farmland. We will continue the Build Better More program with an allocation of 1.4 trillion pesos for 2024. This will fast-track the infrastructure flagship projects of the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and see the construction and improvement of more roads, airports, railways, school buildings, hospitals, and health centers, as well as housing and community facilities. To achieve all this, we have allocated 822.2 billion pesos for the Department of Public Works and Highways and 214.3 billion pesos for the Department of Transportation. To reduce energy cost and promote a sustainable mix of energy resources, we are focusing on renewable energy development, energy efficiency and conservation, and alternative fuels and technologies programs. Following the lessons from the pandemic, we are expanding access to affordable and quality healthcare even in the farthest regions through the National Health Workforce Support System, Health Facilities Enhancement Program, and the National Health Insurance Program. Education remains a top priority, with 924.7 billion pesos, equivalent to 16% of the national budget, with higher allocations to the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Program, Basic Education Facilities Program, and the newest Supporting Innovation in the Philippine TechVoc Education Training System program. With strengthened social protection, we will ensure that no Filipino is left behind. We are providing the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program with a higher allocation of 112.8 billion pesos, while the social pension for indigent senior citizens is now doubled to 49.8 billion pesos. The Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino program will be supported with a goal of building 6 million affordable and decent housing units within 6 years. We are also introducing the Philippine Food Stamp program to address the nutrition needs of the most food-poor Filipinos with 1.9 billion pesos.
Sa ating pagtahak sa kaunlaran, walang mamamayang Pilipino ang maiiwanan.
Towards bureaucratic efficiency, our digital transformation will be accelerated with 38.7 billion pesos for digital infrastructure. To ensure efficient and sound fiscal management, we will adopt the Integrated Financial Management Information System throughout the bureaucracy, following Executive Order No. 29, Series of 2023. To ensure sustainability, climate change expenditure tracking has now reached 543.4 billion pesos to monitor the scope and distribution of the country's climate action. Our local government units will receive 871.4 billion pesos pursuant to the Mandanas-Garcia Supreme Court ruling. Meanwhile, 70.5 billion pesos will be allocated for the annual block grant of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, which increased by 9%. We have also allocated 1 billion pesos for the Support and Assistance Fund for Participatory Budgeting to accelerate access to safely managed water supply and sanitation services in lagging municipalities nationwide. These will be identified through local participatory budgeting activities. Finally, in constant pursuit of fiscal transparency and accountability towards an open government, we continue to keep our budget and other releases open to public scrutiny.
Through the fiscal year 2024 National Expenditure Program, we are determined to remain on track with our agenda for prosperity, securing a future-proof and sustainable economy. It is our fervent hope that this budget will lay the groundwork for making the country's growth inclusive and sustainable and bring us closer to our goal of a new Philippines, not only for the Filipinos of today but also for future generations.